Hi, I'm Sam, the founder of the Broken Wife Effect. I've created this talk series to help women overcome potential challenges they may be having in their lives. This series will cover everything from spiritual to emotional, physical, and practical symptoms that may arise from the Broken Wife Effect. I hope you find this series useful. Welcome to the Broken Wife Effect Healing Talk Series. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to welcome you today to the Broken Wife Effect Healing Talks series. So today we are going to have a talk with Stacey Steinmiller. She is a psychotherapist turned coach who helps humans to cut through their self-sabotage bullshit and to build the life of their dreams. She is passionate about building a community of people who are actively engaged in self-growth and are dedicated to making a positive impact in this world. Welcome, Stacey.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So today I love our topic, self-sabotage. But before we jump into that, how about you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Thanks. Yeah. And I want to say I'm really excited about what you're doing. I think it's, super needed and great for a lot of women out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've been working as a therapist for about 12 years, and I actually specialized in trauma, specifically childhood trauma and attachment issues. So it was pretty intense. Um, but it was really rewarding work. But I was also really interested in a lot of just like human components, I guess I would call them,
Yes.
that are underlying even all of the trauma, right? So people would heal their trauma, but then they would still just have these human issues. And I think that's when I got more interested in working with that piece more. And I really like the self-sabotage, mainly because I have a history of that for myself.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's how I kind of got to where I am now and wanting to be able to reach and help more people, which I can do under the coaching modality easier than the therapy modality. So
Yes, that is awesome. And I know that self-sabotage is something that I definitely have struggled with throughout my life. And I would imagine most people do from time to time. So I think it's great the work that you do and, um, just continuing to search for that best avenue to be able to help as many people as you can.
yeah, yeah.
So that is awesome. So how about we start with, how do you help people who have symptoms of the broken wife effect? And, what may be some of the things that you do to help them through those different symptoms and dealing with self-sabotage?
Definitely. Yeah. So I put together a few different things that tend to be themes that I notice, and especially for women, because I work with men and women, but so I kind of understand the uniquenesses of both.
Right.
So the first thing that came to my mind when thinking about women specifically is the word selfish.
Yes.
They think that any act of self-care or doing anything for myself or really having themselves anywhere other than the bottom of the list is
Yes.
selfish.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's like a huge way that women sabotage themselves because they don't even give themselves the opportunity to get what they want or need.
Absolutely. I would totally
Yeah.
agree.
So really I think it's a good first step to identify, well, what is my definition of selfish?
Yes.
Where did I get that definition from?
Mm-hmm.
Who are all the people and all the events in my life that reinforce this definition? Because those are all the things that need to be broken down in
Yes.
order to um, to stop acting like that, putting yourself last, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I know with the clients that I have worked with that where you feeling that it's selfish. So yeah, you always have to put yourself last. And then by the time the end of the day comes and you're ready to take care of yourself, let me tell you, I never had any energy. It was like, okay, maybe tomorrow. So
Right. Yeah. So the problem is too is you know, so there's this conditioning around, well, if I do everything for everybody else, then somebody else is going to meet my needs, right?
yes, yes,
And then what they find is they do everything for everybody else, and then those people that they think that are going to meet their needs don't.
yes.
So then resentment builds, anger
Mhm.
builds, and so it kind of really has like a whole host of problems that come that by learning to put ourselves first, that we eliminate that entire rabbit hole.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
So,
what are, if you were going to um work with somebody, what would be kind of the first questions, or what would you coach them to do
mhm.
to be able to start thinking of putting themselves first?
Yeah. So I would kind of outline that like story so that they can see how putting themselves last is actually hurting them. You know,
Right,
so it's important to like buy into that philosophy first of being like, oh, no wonder why I'm so angry and resentful. Then I start nagging or getting upset or, you know, like, so then seeing how those negative behaviors that they don't want to have, but they keep
right,
popping up of, oh, that's actually because I keep putting myself last. So now there's like motivation to do something different.
right.
Yeah. So so yeah, so then it's kind of really working through um you know, maybe if there were no if it wasn't selfish, if we didn't have that like connotation,
Mhm.
how would they take care of themselves? Like what would they do? Because
Right.
they haven't even maybe thought about what that would even look like.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so it's important to even just start painting that picture so you
Mhm.
kind of see where you're at now to where you want to go, and then working through the mental and emotional barriers like along that journey of like,
Right.
what does that say about me? Oh, I'm selfish, or I'm a bad wife, or I'm a bad mom, or you know, like all of the things, and kind of working through each like obstacle
Mhm.
as they come up on that path. So yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, I think that is probably one of the biggest things where people start with self-sabotage is denying themselves what each of us need, taking care of ourselves first so that we can give more to others.
Mhm.
Um, so yes, I feel that's a wonderful place to start.
Definitely. Yeah.
So what else would you have that you would add?
Yeah. So when I go deeper with that, the
Mm-hmm.
next thing is the communication piece and actually communicating our desires, like what we want.
Yes. We're allowed to do that? Really?
Right.
Okay.
um and yeah, and you can do it in like a loving and embodied way. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be this controlling or needy, you
Yeah.
know, way of communicating. And the thing is, if we do the first step by meeting our own needs and taking care of ourselves,
Right.
is then we're out of that resentment place. So it's so much easier to like request what you want from a place of love instead of, well, I've been doing this all day and I do this all the time and you don't ever do any, right? Like to get out of that
Yes.
icky energy, right?
Yes. Absolutely. I think getting out of the, like you said, the icky energy, that's one of the biggest things because we kind of get caught into that. And sometimes you can pretty much just drown in that. And
Mhm.
it can take over
Yep.
you. And that's where it gets to where you're being the naggy and you
Yep.
become that person that you don't want to be.
Right.
I have been
Exactly.
there. I have
Yeah.
become that person. Oh, Not good, not good at all.
Yeah, yeah, and I actually even heard, someone use the term recently called the swampy feminine, like that really yeah, like that really icky, pulley, um, energy, and yeah, and we can really feel stuck there because it
Yeah,
is very sticky,
yeah,
and yeah, you probably had women in your life that you looked at and be like, "I'm never gonna be like that," and then you
uh-huh,
start acting like it, and you're like, "Gosh, shit."
yeah. It's like, damn it, I wasn't gonna do that. But
Yeah.
yes.
So that's like another, I guess, even just motivating what reason of, okay, if I meet my own needs, now I'm not playing this game of I did XYZ, so these people should do these things. And then when they don't, then I'm gonna be mad. It's like stop playing a game, just meet your own needs, enjoy, you know, then allow, oh, so I guess that's my next point. I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah,
Um
that's okay.
so the next point, so this is like what I was going through my train of thought of like, oh, okay, oh, and then there's this. So
Hmm.
so when we meet our own needs and then we can communicate what we want in a loving way, then we're in a better energy frequency, I guess I would say, right? We're not in that
Right.
swamp,
Yeah.
we're a lot lighter. And so the next step that is really hard for a lot of women is to allow ourselves to receive.
Mm. Yes, that's a difficult one.
It really is. So that's another big way that we self-sabotage is you can have all these people, offering to help and all of this. I nope, I'm gonna do it myself. Nope, no, I don't need any help. I don't, nope, nope, nope. So we start saying no. And then again, that just builds the resentment. Why am I doing everything for myself? Well, you're sabotaging yourself and saying no to everything. And,
Yeah.
and even if you're not verbally saying no, sometimes our energy says no for us, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and uh, that is definitely something you're hitting on everything. I can tell you, I have been there several times. And even now, there are times that I look at things and it's like, okay, Sam, why are you doing that? This person has asked for help. Why? Just let them help. It's okay. This is a good thing. But man, it can be so difficult to break some of those habits when you have done them all your life.
Yes, yes,
So
exactly. So I'm glad you said that too, because it reminds me again of, so as people are working on these things, you're going to hit resistant blocks, right? Whether
right.
they're belief systems or maybe negative memories of things that happened when they did try to be this other way.
Yeah.
And so that, people can work and heal through whatever it is and really look at, well, what do I believe? Well, that's just because that's what my mom thought or my dad thought or my siblings thought or whoever the influences were through your whole life, society just in general.
Right.
To be able to recognize and shed all that and come into, well, what do I want for my life? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, we don't realize that that's an option.
I
We
know.
deserve that.
I
I think
know.
that's where, feeling unworthy or that you don't deserve, but we all do, every single one of us. Doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter what has happened in your life. Each of us deserve. We all make mistakes. To be able to forgive ourselves and just let people in, that makes a big difference in our lives.
Yeah. And I'm glad you used the word deserve because I have a suggestion to like help people with that because it's such a
Yeah,
loaded word,
right.
because then we're like, well, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. And then people try to flip it by saying, I do deserve it. But then you
Mhm.
get that nagging voice in your head, right?
Yes,
Of like,
yes.
do you? You right. And then
Uh-huh.
so you're on this in this constant war between deserve, not deserve. So the way out of that is to not see that you're earning anything from the outside to come in
Okay, yeah.
and changing it from, so again, if you're working on meeting your own needs, sharing what you want from love, allowing, you know, what you desire to come to you, whether it's help
Mhm.
with something, love, connection, financial resources, whatever, It's more of just this like flowing energy that just like happens, and not a I have to do XYZ in order to get that. And
Right.
I feel like the word deserve gets like really caught up in it. So for some people, if that's just too loaded of a word, I will say, like, you know what? We don't even have to use that word. Let's just like step away from the word so you don't have that war going on, you
Right.
know? So for if people get really stuck on it, that's
Yeah.
what I suggest for them to do.
That is absolutely wonderful. I love that you broke that part down, because that is true. For some people, they can't get past,
Yeah.
whether it is being worthy or deserving or whatever that is, that can be one of those holdups.
Yeah.
And because of those words, we self-sabotage ourselves to be able to accept anything good that might be coming, or to even recognize
Yeah.
the good that is in our lives. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. And then to be able to just um, reframe that,
Yes.
change it to something that it's not so heavy with that word, but just to be able to allow us. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Love
allow.
that.
That's one of my favorite words actually, is allow. I'm
Good.
going to allow the abundance, the whatever, everything to come in. It's just like a lot more like softening
Yeah.
energy. And then it can take away sometimes that, like, well, I didn't finish my to-do list, so I don't deserve, like it's a
Yeah.
bit, yeah, it can be that harsher energy sometimes for a lot of people. Um,
Right.
yeah. So kind of coming in, softening, but yeah, I like that
I
word.
love that. That's great. Well, as we wrap up today, do you have any uh last tidbits before we get to our final question?
Sure. So one of my last tidbits is, I think this is really especially helpful for women, is to allow yourself to get into your body a bit and out of your mind, because your
Yes.
mind is probably often in the past or in the future, and it's go go go, do. So it can be really simple exercises, breathing exercises if you like those, or meditations if you like those, or like chakra things if you like that, like whatever works for you, to just kind of like melt down out of your mind and into your body will help you to be more present.
Right.
And that will also help you to not be in sabotage mode as well. If you're present, you're not going to be sabotaging yourself.
Oh, that's great advice. Absolutely. Well, wonderful. Okay, so the last question that I have for you today is, what is your superpower?
So I would say that my superpower is that I help people to facilitate real, actual change at the cellular level.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, a lot of people get caught in their mind,
Yeah.
yeah, into that war. So I help really rectify that internal conflict, where you feel better, if that makes sense, right? It doesn't need to be a
Absolutely.
fight to feel better. It's
Yeah.
an actual like embodied way. Yeah.
Yes. And that is absolutely wonderful to be able to help people through that, and to really get in touch with who they are.
Yeah.
So that is amazing. Stacey, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your wisdom. For anybody who is interested, I will put a link to Stacey's website in the description, to where you can connect with her and check out if anything really resonated with you. The biggest thing, and I will say this multiple times through the series, is it's important to really connect with whoever you work with. So whether it is counseling, whether it is any sort of therapy or coaching, you need to have a good bond with whoever you're working with. So if by chance you've listened to Stacey today and you feel, okay, this is it, this resonates, reach out to her. Definitely just see where things lead you. Listen to your heart and follow it. So, Stacey, thank you very much for joining us today. And until next time, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.
So